What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Hunter updated guide on Turtle WoW patch 1.18.0 Scars of the Past. My guest today is Skuridizzo. Skuri. Skuri also has a YouTube channel which I'll link in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. That's the first thing I wanted to mention. Second thing, this video will be very long. It's a deep dive. So I'll just make timestamps for you, so you can navigate from part to part. However, I recommend watching the whole video. That being said, let's do this. Skuri, hello.
Hello Narghul, hello people, how are you doing? I'm fine, hope you too.
Yeah, I'm fine also. Skuri, what do you think about changes when it comes to Hunters in new patch 1.18.0 Scars of the Past? Are Hunters stronger or weaker now?
If you compare to the past Hunters, the previous patch, the Hunter by itself is a bit stronger, but if you compare the changes to the other classes, I think the Hunter is a bit lower in the tiers. So we could say the Hunter is weaker.
Alright. So, Skuri, if you wanted to level up all over again, what build would you choose? Can you show me in the talent calculator, please?
Yes, okay. First, as usual, I like to go for the steady shot. So we have to choose in the marksman tree in between the PvP talent for stun or mana cost reduction. So we go for the mana cost reduction. On the next tier, we go for the lethal shots, a bit more crit. It's always nice. And then we get the steady shot. This will be the main ability, and we will see it later why, but it's like the key of the talent. And now we go to Beast Mastery, because we want our pet to be a tank, to be a monster. So I know some people choose Swift Aspect if you want to level up fast, but as we are going to mention the hardcore build later, we are going to do this way. And 2 points here. I don't like 2 points on revive your pet because you're supposed to make your pet survive. So I prefer to not spend 2 points here, and I prefer to spend them on stamina and armor.
Smart.
Now on the next tier, we have this new brand talent, which is really cool. We get an extra damage every 6 seconds, so that's nice. And then we go for Unleashed Fury to make our pet have a better DPS. Now we get to the next tier, and here you can choose different options. But my favorite is to complete Unleashed Fury and then to pick Ferocity. 3 and 4. At this point, we can go for Kill Command, which is another new talent and ability. It's always nice to remove CC from your pet and you get 2 crits from the abilities. Bestial Precision to cap the hit rate from your pet. And now we can go for Ferocity. We have 1 point left to get to the next tier. And I like to get improved man pet because you have the chance to dispel your pet from curses, disease, magic, blah blah. So if you're leveling, a lot of enemies in the open world will get you a curse, magic or whatever, poisons. So I like to dispel my pet, but I know there are some haters and they never use this, so they go for Bestial Discipline for a bit more DPS. But I recommend you to go for improved man pet. Now, this talent, Spirit Bond, is probably the best talent in the whole Hunter 3, included Marksman and Survival, because we're getting our pet 40% of our ranged attack power, and that's huge. And now we finish Frenzy, some more attack speed, and Baited Shot. At this point, we have 9 points left. You can completely spend them wherever you want. I know some people like to keep spending points on Frenzy, Improvement Fed, and Bestial Discipline, and it could be whatever you want. Or you can go for the PVE talents if you're going to start making dungeons, raiding a bit, you can go for Marksman,
Mortal Shot.
Mortal
Yeah.
Shots. This talent is huge. 30% creep bonus is huge. So just pick your favorite.
That's nice. What will be rotation of the build?
Okay. I have this. We have to explain first. Maybe we have to explain the rotation after all the talents because I made
Okay, no problem.
this
No problem.
like a big guide for this.
We will do that then. Scurry, if you wanted to level up, you can erase all the talents. If you wanted to level up as a hardcore hunter, yeah. Because people are interested in hardcore also. What will you do?
Okay, first, if you're hardcore, I would start with endurance training to make sure your pet will have a lot of stamina and thick hide. Thick hide provides a lot of armor to your pet, so it's important.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now we go to the steady shot. We change the order. In the other standard tree, we go first to steady shot, but in hardcore, we want to secure the pet is going to survive. So that's a point to take in mind. And now we have 2 points. You can go for improved and revive pet if you want, or swift aspects. As I pretend my pet to never die, I go for swift aspects. But if you don't feel confident enough, it's okay to go here to revive your pet. And now we repeat the same: coordinated assault, unleash fury. There's no big choice here. But once we get to the next tier, it's safer to choose improved pet. You want to make your pet stay as long as possible. So this talent is huge to heal your pet. And in hardcore, you want to survive. It doesn't matter if you go fast or slow, you want to survive. So this talent is really nice. And I think the 5th point of Unleash Fury is a bit better than Ferocity. So we go in this order. And now we repeat: kill command, better precision to cap the hit rate of your pet. And now you can choose Intimidation. This talent is a stun, so it would be like PvP talent, but I know a lot of enemies in the open world are affected by stuns. So if you want to survive, having an extra stun is not a bad idea. I would go for this talent. And the last point, Ferocity. Now we go for Spirit Bond that provides a lot of HP regen for us because we are going to regenerate, we, the hunters and the pet, at 2% of the total health every 5 seconds, included combat. So making combats long will provide you a lot of health. And as you are giving your pet a lot of health, they will regenerate more HP. So this is the combo, the idea. Now we go for Ferocity. Only 1 point in Frenzy. It's a bit sad, but that's what it is. And now we get to the same point. We finish the Beast Mastery tree, and we have 9 points left. In my opinion, the best idea here is to fulfill the Beast Mastery tree with Frenzy that is really good to provide attack speed to your pet, more energy regeneration, and there are 3 points left for Swift Aspect.
Perfect.
So this would be like a very solid talent tree for hardcore.
Perfect. Okay. Now, what did you mention about rotations? We're gonna do them at the end, right? Or
At least after the Beast Mastery Marksman talent tree.
okay, so
There-
yeah, go on.
There are 2 rotations: the Beast Mastery and one for these 2, Beast Mastery Marksman, and another for Survival. So you can choose one.
What will be the best spec for hunters when it comes to PVE damage dealing in raids?
Okay, right now the hunters are playing Survival in top raids, but I know the mechanics can be tougher than playing range because you have to move and dodge some attacks. It's a bit complicated, not really hard, but more complicated than playing range. So let's start with survival. I know some people don't like to play melee, but it is what it is. And well, I'm going to explain, sorry, I forgot. Improved slaying is a nice talent. We get some extra damage and crit damage to these kind of enemies, beasts, giants, ranking, and humanoids. So not bad. Also, mana reductions. The survival hunter lacks a lot of mana, so this talent is amazing. 2% haste. There is no better option for now, and now we get for savage strikes. If you read carefully this talent, the first part, it says increases the damage done by your offhand weapon by 25%. This talent was bugged before, and it made the hunter hit harder with the offhand weapon than the main hand weapon. So if you're playing a warrior, a fury warrior with dual wield, you will usually get the strongest weapon on your main hand. But with the hunter, there was a bug, and it's a mystery if it works or not. I tested it today and it doesn't work, but the previous week it was working. So I was using the stronger weapon in my offhand and the fast in my main hand, and I was dealing more DPS. So that's something to take in mind. This talent is kind of weird. And now we go to the next tier, and here, Carve, it's an AoE ability. And as there is no real damage, we go for a defensive spell and a bit of health, which is cool, I guess, 2% health. Now on the next tier, Stinging Needle, it's really amazing to apply poisons with your melee attacks. And 3% hit, it's always
nice to have hit, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you're playing dual wield overall, because you need more than 8%. And now we go for all the talents in the survival tree because they all provide a good DPS. And we're going to get all the last talent. And I want to mention this talent, Vicious Strike, was nerfed, and it previously was providing us extra weapon damage to the main abilities, Raptor Strike and Mungus Bite, but now it doesn't. So the Hunter was a bit nerfed, the survival spec, despite of the fact that we got the Lacerate ability, but I feel it a bit worse than before. And the leftover talents are going to go to Beast Mastery this time. The other time I recommended another option in when we could go for Improve the Stings, but for now it's completely better to go for Beast Mastery and get this new Coordinated Assault.
16035. So this is number 1 viable raiding build. Skuri, can you show me rotation of this build, please?
Yes. The rotation would be 2 macros. I will link those macros in the chat below, in the comments on YouTube.
All right.
And you want to spam all your melee abilities, and you have to choose in between the single target trap and the AoE trap. But all the other is the same. Spam your macro with all your abilities. As simple as that. If you want to save mana, you can avoid this from the rotation, but it's also nice to have this ability because you can apply on hit effects, and this ability is triggered when you land a critical hit, and also you can get a critical hit with this ability to activate this one. So just one single button, smash your button, AoE or single target. Really simple.
So that's macro all in one.
Yes.
Interesting. Skuri, is there any other viable raiding build when it comes to, yeah?
Yes, the Beast Mastery is making the people go crazy because it's very complicated to completely master this rotation. And we go for Swift Aspects for the range attack speed. Endurance Training, there is no other better option here for now. Coordinated Assault for extra damage. Unleash Fury, extra damage to the pet. Ferocity, extra crit to the pet. And remember this talent because we will need a lot of critical hit. Kill Command to secure 2 crits to your pet. Bestial Precision to get your pet hit rate cut, and 1 point on bestial discipline. We go for spirit bond, 3 points in frenzy, and baited shot. This new ability, baited shot, it's activated whenever your pet lands a critical hit. So the idea is to have a lot of crit with your pet, this talent and this other talent, and you want to spam this as much as possible. So if you are able to choose totems in your party, you want the agility totem, not the Wind Fury totem anymore. So that's a point to take in mind because previously they all were getting Wind Fury because of the pet was getting the benefit of the Wind Fury. So that's a good point to take in mind.
Okay.
And the 20 leftover points are going to go in Marksman. For sure, we explained this already. Extra range, a bit more of your... And critical damage. Mortal Shot is a really nice talent to ignore this. So I didn't find any other option because I know some people want to remove this talent and cap your frenzy, but Mortal Shot is providing a lot of damage. This is the other spec. Beast Mastery spec.
Is there a rotation for Beast Mastery and Marksmanship, or it's same one button macro?
No, this one is highly complicated.
Okay.
And I made this.
Okay.
We will explain it step by step. There is a lot of information hidden here, but let's show this to not make the people get lost. First of all, this rotation is what I call the 1-2. It is a basic attack and the steady shot. This is the most important skill to control for yourself. If you want to master the hunter, you need to make this rotation in autopilot. So it's basically when you land the auto shot, then you cast the steady shot. As simple as that. Then is the extended 1-2. And it's as simple as adding a third skill after you use your steady shot. And the double 2. The double 2 is ignoring the steady shot and casting double instant spell. Okay, so when to use the 1-2, the extended or the double 2? This is the key information. If you remember the other guide, we were talking about this number and we're going to explain where this comes from. If you have less, if you attack faster than this number, you want to use the 1-2 mostly. If your attack speed is slower than this number, you want to go for the extended rotation.
All right. Seems like your Discord got muted, Scurry. I cannot hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Yeah, no problem.
What was the last thing I said?
You were talking about extended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extended. And the double 2, did I say the double 2?
No.
Okay. Next step. So you basically want to choose the extended rotation when your attack speed is higher than this number. And it will provide
Sorry, but what does this number means?
Okay, this is the attack speed in seconds your bow has. If you have more than this number, if you attack slower than this number, like for example, bows used to get faster attack speed, and crossbows get around 3 seconds attack speed. So if you're using a bow, you will probably go for the 1-2. And if you are using a crossbow, you are going for the extended. It's a general idea. Not a exact rule, but it works really nice. And the double 2 means to ignore your steady shot and add a double instant spell. Yeah, these two are the strongest, so that's why I showed these two. So now let's explain how the basic attack rotation works, because a lot of people get confused. And when you shot, you have like 0.5 seconds. It's a bit more, maybe 0.55, but let's make it clear. And during this time, you are like casting a spell. You cannot move, you cannot cast anything, you cannot jump, you can't do anything. And after this time, your shot is finished. Now you have a gap of time, let's say 2.4 in this situation, in which you can move, you can run, you can cast the spells, you can sleep, you can do whatever you want. And when this time finishes, you are going to start again the same animation to cast your attack. So the idea is to use this red time to cast your spells. And it would be like this. We want to use steady short in the first place because look at this cast time, 1.675 and 1 extended second from the global cooldown of the next ability. That's why if you add this number to this other number, you get exactly the number I mentioned before. That's the reason.
Okay.
What happens if you do the steady shot in the second order? Look at this graph. If you use this instant spell in first place and then the steady shot, look at this gray time. You are losing a lot of time here because you are not using the global cooldown time on your cast time. That's the idea. We can spend the global cooldown time during the time we are casting the shot and we are not doing anything. But if you finish the steady shot later, you are going to delay your basic attack animation. That is the idea. We want to avoid we want to avoid this right part and we want to do this left part.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. And what is the name of this ability? Of this
The sausage.
Yeah.
Baited shot.
Baited
Now-
shot. Okay.
I explained here my basic combos. It's the 1-2 extended with the baited shot. Do it as soon as you can. The extended combo with the multi-shot. You can do it also if you're having this attack speed to match the 1-2. These two are really nice to have, multi-shot and baited shot as soon as possible, even if you're using a fast bow, it doesn't matter. And the kill command, just in case you need it, not always, but it's really nice to activate your baited shot, so most likely you want it. And there is another option for those who have fast bows. You can include the 1-2 with baited shot multi-shot or baited shot serpentine, or including kill command and baited shot. The double 2 rotation is nice for those who have bows mostly because you want to include your baited shot and you don't want to delay your basic attack. So just think a bit deeper of it and you will find a way to get more DPS with these basic 6 combos I made. And here is the guide to understand the priority. The most important is the basic attack, then the baited shot, steady shot, multi-shot, kill command if you are going to activate your sausage, and the poison and the arcane shot.
That makes a lot of sense now. Yeah.
This is all what you need to understand to make the proper rotation.
Perfect.
I can link this doc on the YouTube channel too, if the people want to see it clearly.
Yeah, sure. You can send me on Discord, and I will link for people also. So this is rotation of Beast Mastery, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the rotation of survival, we said like one button. Yeah.
Is
Macro. Yeah. So that's not that hard. What about marksmanship hunters? What do you think?
Marksmanship hunters didn't get any single change. So the marksman talent tree keeps exactly the same. I'm repeating the talents.
Okay.
And it was like this. On the marksman talent, you are going to repeat the same rotation as before, but you don't have the sausage. It's the only difference. You will include poison skills, arcane shot, just removing these two from the skill order, but it's exactly the same as marksman.
So for now, we have can you go back to the talent points, please? We have survival, which is the best PVE raiding build. Then we have beast mastery, and marksmanship seems like the worst one at the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's mention something about beast mastery, because beast mastery is the highest in long battles. They have a lot of DPS if your pet is the scorpion. But in trash, when you are going to clear the trash, I feel like beast mastery gets behind of the other tools because it's really slow. You need to charge your baited shot, you need your pet to land some critical hits, and it's really complicated to have a lot of burst during the first 5 seconds. That's all that I have to mention. And lastly, there is a fourth combination that reminds a lot to the previous beast mastery and marksmanship combination that we were using in the past, but this combination is a bit weaker than deep beast mastery, but as it is way easier to use and you don't rely on your pet that much, it is stronger on trash pools, clearing trash, having more burst, and it's also easier to play because you don't need to focus your rotation on your baited shot, kill command, and you don't have to interrupt your skills. So we start with shift aspects. It's a really nice talent for the attack speed. Then we go for endurance training. We want our pet to survive, so we always need it. Unleash Fury, it's amazing, 20% more damage to the pet. A coordinated assault, new ability, amazing too. Ferocity, some crit to our pet. And now we get to this point. We will need Bestial Precision to cut the hit rate to the pet. Ferocity for 1 more point of crit to the pet. And lastly, Kill Command, because there are some bosses like Nefarian who apply a fear in area, so you want to remove your pet's fear as soon as possible, and many other enemies that stun or slow, sleep or whatever, so you can use Kill Command to remove that crowd control on your pet. And we are missing 1 point to skip to the next tier. We can go for Intimidation if we want to have a stun, but other people prefer to go Bestial Discipline, so feel free to choose your favorite. 1 point on Bestial Discipline is nice because it provides a bit more of focus to your pet and cooldown reduction, but having Intimidation doesn't sound like a bad idea because you have a stun to cancel or interrupt some casts, and it's also useful for some other enemies, so pick your favorite. I'm not going to tell you which one is better because both of them are a good option. And finally, Spirit Bond. We have mentioned already Spirit Bond is the strongest talent for the hunter in general. It doesn't matter what tree you play. If you could add Spirit Bond to any other playstyle, it would be broken. So that's the reason we want to reach to this point. And now we're going to Marksman. Again, efficiency for mana cost, lethal shots for a bit more of grit, steady shot for the basic rotation. And now we want to go for mortal shots. As we said before, it's a really huge DPS, 30% more critical bonus. So we want this. And now we are missing 4 talents. 2 of them are going to be on improved steady shot. As it is our main ability, we want to have that improved, that is a 15% boost. And now we have 2 points left. The 2 points left can be here on Frenzy if you want a bit more attack speed of your pet. It's not a bad idea. Piercing shots, but take in mind some enemies like Ragnaros who are immune to poison, they are also immune to bleeding effects. So this talent is not good against all enemies, but it's a really nice DPS if you have a slow crossbow. They have a high damage, and this talent makes a percentage of their damage. So the slower the weapon, the higher the damage and higher the bleeding. So you will go for this talent when you have a slow weapon mostly. And the other option is to go for improved slaying. For example, when you have to kill dragons in Blackwood Lure, you can go for 2 points here for a 2 extra % damage to the dragons and 2 extra % critical damage to dragons. But from my own experience, What I found the best and most solid is to pick 2 of them in Frenzy. That is the most balanced way to play this talent tree. You only have to use your steady shot, auto shot, steady shot, auto shot, and whenever you can, you go for multi-shot. It's a really simple rotation. You don't have to do anything really difficult. And here is my favorite combination from the last patch and also an easy and useful one for this patch.
Roger that, sir. Roger that. Scurry, what about pets?
Oh,
Yeah.
pets.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make a quick resume because it's a really complicated topic.
Yeah.
And let's say we are playing survival hunter because it's the most popular now. So let's say survival. Going to set the talent. The best pet if you're playing PVE, I would say is the bear right now. The bear got a high buff, and you get your party an 8% damage reduction, 3% damage increase
Wow.
during 12 seconds. So it's a really nice to have a bear on your party one to make the tank even stronger, but it has 2 minutes cooldown and it feels a bit messy maybe. Some people would do this because this skill reduces the cooldown of your pet by 20%, but from 120 seconds, a 20% maybe is not that much, and you are sacrificing a lot of DPS with this. So take that in mind. It's possible. I don't recommend it, but it's possible to make this little change. And if you don't want to play the bear because of the high cooldown, just go for the cobra, the serpent. They are the most solid in DPS.
You are talking about ZG pets, right?
Yes, the Suguru.
Yeah, Zulzuru. Exactly, yeah.
The bear can be from the bears can be found everywhere. So I would recommend a level 58 bear from Winter Spring. They already know the attack, the Roar of Fortitude, I think it's called.
Nice.
So you have a level 58 bear almost ready to battle. And if you're playing PvP, you want to go for the Crocolisk because they have an insane slow, or the bear because of the cooldown, same reasons. If you want CC, go for the Crocolisk. If you want a cooldown, go for the bear. And if you're playing Beast Mastery, the chain it changes a bit because the Scorpion is the strongest pet in DPS after 22 seconds of battle. So there is a big change in the gameplay when you play the Scorpion or not due to this kill command and baited shot combination. If you're playing, for example, a Raptor, a Cobra, or a Wind Serpent that are the other 3 nice options, they will provide you crits with their own abilities. But the Scorpion Poison cannot get a critical hit. So you have to be manually controlling the crits using the claw in the right moment with this ability, and it gets really, really complicated to use the Scorpion. But if you want to try hard, give it a try to the Scorpion, and you will see how much DPS they can get. So that's the idea. The Scorpion if you want to min-max your class, Cobra, Wind Serpent, or Raptor if you want to play on autopilot, focusing on yourself.
Nice. Alright, that will be pretty much it, Scurry. Now, when we covered all of this, I would like to ask you one last question. What will be, in your opinion, the best viable build when it comes to PvP? If you want to rank up, for example.
Okay, I know there are some survival hunters who play PvP, but the problem of survival is that you're melee and you don't have any mobility. So
Yeah.
it's not like warrior that you can charge, rogues can get in stealth. So it's a bit complicated, and I like to go for this Beast Mastery tree again. Here I would go for path finding maybe because you get your pet 30% move speed. So it's really nice to chase people. Here I would go for, I'm making a little change. in bestial precision, you only need 1 point now. And here, I would sacrifice 1 point in frenzy in order to add pathfinding. And let's repeat. We're going to sacrifice 1 point in frenzy and 1 point from bestial precision because we don't need that much hit rate in PvP. And we're going to get pathfinding to get our pet faster. And now we're going for improved concussive shot, lethal shot, extra range attack, steady shot. And here, I know some people who know this talent, and let's explain why. Because you can get mortal shot as usual, and scatter shot, another CC ability.
Yeah.
So you could go maybe for this, if you want to go for the double CC ability, the intimidation and the scatter shot, or you can fulfill the beast mastery tree with the baited shot. Just pick your favorite, but I feel like the baited shot is complicated to activate, so I prefer to go
scatter shot. Exactly. I see a lot of hunters around with scatter shot when they PvP. Yeah.
Because the hunters offers a lot against the rogues and warriors, so you can use this on melee range to CC melee people, so it's fine.
Scurry, do you have anything to add, like some tips and tricks for our audience? Anything for the end of the video? Something that people would learn, you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I remember something that not many people know well. I know some people know this, but this trick, a lot of new players are ignoring. And is the fact that you can use what they call the trap dancing, or switch your trinkets in combat. How to do this? If you set your pet in passive mode and then use feign death, you leave out of combat. So it means you can change some of your equipment, including trinkets. For example, you can activate a trinket, and when it is on cooldown and the activation finished, you can change it for another passive trinket or another activated trinket, whatever you want. And also, you can use a freezing trap if you are playing PvP. For example, we don't have traps in combat with this tree for this mastery, but we can use pet on follow, feign death, and then trap on the floor. So you can stun warriors and rogues even if you don't have survival points. That is like my last tip for the people.
That's nice. That's really nice. Does it work in PvE though?
Yes, not in all bosses because, for example, Setun and Kel'Thuzad and some other big bosses always keep you in combat, so you cannot do this trick of feign death and switch trinkets. But in most of the bosses, you can do this.
Alright, fair enough. So that's it, guys. This was my good old friend Scuridizio. Scurry, I'm gonna leave a link of his YouTube channel in the comments down below. And when it comes to your questions, I will do my best to answer you. But honestly, my knowledge about hunters is, I learned a lot today by listening to Scurry, but overall, I'm not really much of a hunter, so I will ask Scurry to reply to all of your questions. If you have questions or suggestions, please post them down below. And once again, I will link Scurry's YouTube channel down in the link, and I'm gonna pin it. Thanks for stopping by. I really hope that you learned something, and I'll see you some other time. Scurry, thanks for being my guest.
Thank you too for being a nice guest. No, nice host.
Yeah.
And I wish you all a good day, people. Bye.
Thank you, Scurry. Bye bye. Cheers.